Hi there, my name is Kristin, and I would like to invite you to a short embodiment and embodied exercise with me. It's quite simple, so if you've got a few minutes, feel free to join right in. So the first thing to do is just to stand up. Easier said than done, so just standing up is not that easy for many of us because our inner critic is coming in straight away telling us that our posture is terrible, that we're not standing well, and so on. So the first challenge I have for you, let's say, is to just see whether that inner critic, if it does come up for you, could just sit quietly somewhere over there for a moment. So if you want to, you can literally, wherever that inner critic is, take it and say, would you mind just sitting over there for a moment? And you can tell me again how bad my posture is later, just for the minute. So you're just creating the space and time, very small space, very short time, to just allow yourself to stand or allow your body to stand in whatever way it feels it wants to. So where is no resistance, essentially, to your stance. So that's something to find out now, since, we may not often give ourselves that awareness, that time to explore that. So just notice what happens as you're standing without making any changes based on what you think is correct. And allowing your body to show up, to stand the way it has learned to stand from a long time ago, influenced by every single day in our life. All the challenges, all the bad stuff, as well as the good stuff, the celebrations. So what shape is your body making now? It will also be very influenced by your state of mind and your mood and your physiology right at this moment. So yeah, you're being authentic. And we're just not going to name it as bad or good. Let's allow it to show up and be. And just notice what you notice about that. Maybe you're noticing differences from left to right. Hey, we're human beings, we're not machines, it's okay. Maybe you're noticing certain areas of tension or locking or instability, or even some pain somewhere that you're holding. Maybe just holding on to certain areas for no apparent reason. Just notice it. You don't have to change anything. This is how you're showing up. That's okay. So allow yourself to be you right at this moment. It doesn't mean you have to be this way forever, but this is at the moment. And it's okay. There's nothing that you need to do about that right now. So as you're just here standing and allowing yourself to show up, ever so often you could just check in with your feet. They're the thing that is in contact with the ground. So maybe try out a little bit of shifting your weight around in a comfortable way, from heel to forefoot and toes, back, maybe a little over one foot and the other. And just allowing yourself the time and the space to feel how it feels when you're standing the way that your body stands. It's allowed to show up, and how you're shifting. How is it in your hips to just allow your hips to sway over one foot and then finding its balance over the other foot. Allowing the weight to go forward to a certain degree, and when you've gone far enough. This is not a challenge, it's an exploration. Feel how the weight in your foot is changing, or the weight distribution is changing. You could kind of circle over your feet, letting your hips go sideways, a little backwards, sideways and forward. And again, without making that a big sort of exercise, really just finding a very small, simple exploration of the stance. and how your weight gets shifted around, managed by your feet. So it's the sole of your feet, or the soles of your feet, that you're noticing, that create different kinds of pressure in different places. And all the joints on top are balancing out so that your head can stay pretty much on top of you. So as you're coming back to the middle, how would it be to position your head above your feet? If it's not already there. And the rest in the middle will work itself out. And then we're just going to shake down some of the stuff that's going on up here. So if you're finding it difficult to focus on this and your brain keeps taking you elsewhere, I'm just going to shake it off a little bit. So just let your knees sort of bend, rocking on the spot, and you can tip a little to one side and shake your arm down and shake the other arm down. Shaking down the shoulders. Your teeth, shaking them down. As you're shaking things down, one side and the other, side to side. You can shift more into your heel again. So you're rocking and dropping everything through the heels into the ground. You can try shifting your weight forwards. Yeah, that's different. More over one foot, more the other. Still, your feet are like sucking cups on the ground. So you can do the shaking down, a bit of moving, like a tree that's got strong roots, but has some movements in the wind, in the breeze. Oof. And then slowly just allow yourself to settle again back into standing, allowing your body to stand how it stands. Notice how your experience is now. Maybe a bit of buzzing going on. Maybe your feet feel different on the ground. Maybe there's a different weightedness to you now. And then just bring your arms up slowly. And then it's a bit like, feels like something like Tai Chi or something like that. Just kind of push the air away a little bit. And imagine, you don't really have to imagine this actually, this space that you've created, this time and space to just be with your body in something really simple. Could you stretch it out with your hands? So you're pushing away the stress, the anxiety, the thoughts, the solution, the desperate solution finding to your problems. And then go outwards, create more space. So this in front of you where your arms have been, yeah, it's really your space to be, to live, to be alive, to have space to breathe, to be safe, because nothing is going to get into your space like that you don't want in it. And you can go wider out to the sides, and you bring your hands in and push away. You can allow your legs to do the same thing. So it's as though your feet are stretching the floor apart. So you start feeling those muscles here on the outside of your thigh as your hands also press out. So the whole side of you is getting wider, taking in space towards your sides and the front and around. How about above you? So you could let your knees sink down a little bit and then send your arms overhead and your feet further into the ground, and you're getting taller and you're making your space above your head. You can look around too, so you start following your hands a little bit. And yeah, like myself, it might take you behind you as you start looking around. Well, maybe I have space behind me too, and I know there's space, safe space behind me. Which means I don't have to watch my back all the time. I can feel there with my hands. I can turn to look at it and stretch it out like some sort of tissue paper around me. And then just freestyle for a moment, allowing your arms to feel the space that is all yours. Push away anything that doesn't belong there and get just for that moment. And then again, just find your stance again, the way your body wants to stand. And at this point, something's changed. If you're kind of just comparing to when you first stood up, has something changed in you? Is your experience of this stance a little different? Is your connection to the ground, to yourself, to your center, a little bit more clear? What about those areas of tension you were feeling before, perhaps? Or that level of anxiety or stress, or the busyness in your head? And as you look around your space a little more, is your vision a little different? Have you become taller, maybe calmer, heavier or lighter? So I hope you enjoyed this little exercise. And if you want more, feel free to join me for one of my workshops or my courses. And I hope to see you sometime around for more embodiment explorations. So thank you for joining me for today.